Hello YouTube, welcome to Anttech Airsoft Studios YouTube channel. Today is going to be a video of me basically going over the upgrades that I did to this G&G CM16 SRL that is up for sale. So if you're interested in that, look in the link below. So without further ado, here's the video.
I'm using stock G&G gears. These things are really tough. And I'm also going to be using this ASG 28 TPA motor. I have this in my personal build, running it with a lower ratio gear set, and gives me really good trigger response. And this is also going to offer great trigger response with an 18:1 ratio gear set. I go with this motor because it's such a high TPA. It's because for this build I'm aiming to make it pretty milsome, semi-realistic to the real thing. It's an AEG, so you can't get too real with it, because gas blowback beats it in that sense, and Sistemas beat it. But in regards to rate of fire and really good trigger response, I want it to be pretty realistic in that aspect. And again, these gears are tough, and they're 18:1 ratio, and this is a good combination that's going to get you that. I am going to replace these stock brass bushings with used VFC steel bushings. They're both 8mm, obviously, but I chose the VFC used steel because although it's used, there's really no wear on it. I mean, this one has some anodizing coat worn off, but nothing's going to affect the shimming. I didn't take this out of the original gun that it was in because of any defects. I did it simply because I replaced the bearings because I got a new gearbox shell that came with it, Lonex. And this is just a lot better than the stock brass bushings. Also, this will lie a lot more flush upon the bottom surface of the gearbox shell, allowing me to get more precise shimming in there. And hopefully that could fix some of the screechy issues. Also, the surface on this is a lot more smoother than the surface on the brass bushing that the airsoft gears are making contact with. I would throw bearings in them, used bearings, because that's all I have right now, and I am on a budget for this build. But bearings, they can break, and I don't want to risk that. So I'm sticking with bushings, because I know for a fact that bushings aren't going to break like a bearing would. So just to eliminate any chance of defect, and to add yet another upgrade to the gun that won't add to the cost of the selling price and my own personal budget for investing in it, I am sticking with this.
So for the sake of creating a more presentable video, I'm just going to cut out this part of me just blabbering, because that's all it really is, just blabbering. But here I'm actually going to demonstrate the cycle completion feature that the gun has, so check it out.
With the ASG Infinity motor and stock gears, of course. So, semi-auto. And the trigger response is absolutely awesome as well. And here's a 3-round burst. When you tap it, it completes it. Very neat features from this micro switch and Mosfet unit from G&G. Like, seriously, applause to them. And these things are only $40 to buy standalone.
Again, I blabber on a bit, but basically what I'm saying in short is that it's a very nice unit, and it actually can compete with an ASCU just in terms of its affordability. It doesn't have all the features that it has, but it has very key features, like the cycle completion. I don't think it has LiPo protection, but it does offer a programmable 3-round burst, so it's very notable.
Lonex compression components. Now, I just got the complete set.
What I try to explain in this portion of the video, which I wish to spare you guys from hearing, is that basically I picked the complete set due to its affordability, because it comes in the complete set, and Alpha Brill Armory just happened to sell the one where the voluming of the cylinder matches the inner barrel that I purchased, which is a 300mm barrel, which you'll see soon.
Okay, so here we have the stock hop-up and barrel assembly with the new Lonex and the new Prometheus BC Bright. Let's make some magic happen. First thing I did was take out the green bucking and nub from the standard G&G hop-up unit because I am going to be using this since these buckings give really great air seal and they're pretty accurate. So, and since I'm not adjusting the muzzle velocity and just upgrading the compression, this is going to work fine for what I'm doing with this gun.
I just cut out about 20 minutes of me blabbering on about the Lonex one-piece hop-up chamber and the Prometheus barrel. So it is a Prometheus BC Bright 6.05 inner diameter, 300 millimeter length barrel. It is brass and it is polished, and it does have very nice crowning and a good window. The Lonex chamber is very precise, and there's just a lot of good reviews for it in many places where you will look for it. So I chose to go with that. And again, the G&G bucking does offer great air seal and contact to the BB. So yes, that is the barrel assembly.
I'm going to solder on a Dean connector now. This is a nice nylon connector. I got it off of Brill Armory. I mean, these are good connectors. I use these in my personal builds. It's gold plated, so good stuff, good stuff. I already cut off the Tamiya. Tamiyas are disgusting. And I got my soldering iron heating up, so let's get this connector on. As I've stated before, here we have the Dean connector that's on there. Now, for people who try to install these at home, just know that when you're looking at the T, right, the top of the T, that is going to be your positive, your red. Some cheaper Dean connectors don't have it marked on it, but for example, this one actually does have the positive and negative signs marked. I'm having stupid focusing issues. But yeah, so we got that on. So let's get this gearbox back together and start some testing.
You'll notice that in that shooting video that I just showed you, there was a different pistol grip or motor grip on it, and it is a VFC slim grip that is stippled and has vents in it. The vents were in it because of the build that it was in previously. It really needed some ventilation and heat dissipation. It was a very high-speed build, like very high-speed. And it is stippled. It is one of my earlier stippled jobs, but I replaced it. Well, I replaced the original grip because of slight motor fitment issues and how it was engaging the bevel gear. So that's why that is there. Also, in some of the pictures, you may notice that there are the brass bushings in it. The gun does have the steel VFC bushings in it. I decided to put the bushings in later on after testing and noticing that there was some screeching in it. If you look back, you'll notice that I do say, hopefully this will help prevent some of the screeching issues it's having. It was the bushings. It was a combination between the bushings and the motor grip. So those were changes that were made, and I did just edit it in such a way where everything is one fluent big push, but I did have to take the gun apart a few times. There was fine-tuning involved. So yeah, here's the chrono test.
These results are derived from 15 tests, and I was running this battery, which is a Turn G11-1. It is a 20 to 30 C discharge. It's not what I initially used in my review because that one's dead and I have to get this done. This battery, it's dead. Well, not dead, but dead for lipo. You don't want it too dead.
So that's about it for the upgrade project on the G&G. As for the velocity, I, since filming, have went back in and did some more fine-tuning to the compression and the shimming. So it is more ready and good to go for a consumer to purchase it and field it. This is footage from the review of the gun before I upgraded it, which is on my channel. So if you want to check out the review for just the plain old stock gun, definitely check that out. I'll have a link for it in the description. So I am Anthony from Anttech Studios signing off, and thank you for watching.